Welcome back, everybody. Holiday Doc here with another MLG game for you. Today we got Summit, CTF. Haven't posted a lot of Summit lately, and the CTF game was definitely a lot of fun. Good way to work on some strats and skills is always in the scrims, and that's what we're doing today. We also have a potential member to New Breed, as he did want to get a tryout in with us. His name is QP, and he's going to be giving us his all in this match, and we're going to see how it kind of works out for him. So also I want to just point out before I get started on the gameplay commentary is I am planning on doing another breakdown video this week, and it's going to be firing range domination. And I wanted to do firing range again because, to leave off on a lot of the topics I briefly touched on the firing range CTF, I thought I could branch out and kind of work those in with a domination game as well. So if you want to see that happen, let me know with a comment or a like or whatever, something down below in the pants bar. Anyways, CTF on this game is very fast paced. Some people are going to try to run that marathon class, but it's going to be pretty dangerous up against anybody with any sort of quality headset. You're going to just hear them coming from a mile away. And we have played a couple decent teams that are going to be running it. By the way, we are playing a branch off from Team Sideways Effect. And this is a pretty good scrim. They definitely put up some great numbers on the second part of our matchups here. We only played 2 games due to time restrictions, but we managed to do pretty well. Trauma and Midget King are really working that right hand side really well. QP is trying to push up mid, I believe, on this part of the game, and myself, I'm trying to just kind of create a presence on that left side, make sure I have any position to get in for cutoffs when they're running Summit. And I really don't agree with the enemy team running down Summit the majority of this game. I think it was really detrimental to their flag caps, and it allowed us to really have just a head start and advantage on their cutoff when they went down there. I was able to get such a more dominating position on any sort of defensive place, and right there I got lucky. My gun kind of twitched over and pulled a little bit, so I knew somebody was right beside me somewhere, but I did manage to get him before getting taken out. And team play and chemistry on this one was working pretty well. We were all kind of moving to certain areas, kind of filling in for each other after one guy went down, and I think it was doing okay. Let me know what you guys think of the gameplay. Obviously, that's the biggest part of it is, learning from you guys and what you want to see, as well as bringing some quality gameplay and commentary, which is what I love to strive to do. QP holding up on B stairs, trying to cut off anybody going through main war room there. Good spot to be in. You always want to control that room as much as possible. You don't want to leave it open for the enemy to use as sort of a flag highway or a flag runway, whatever you want to call it. And right side grid, you see my teammate went down, so it's my job to rotate over and pick up that kill before moving in towards the enemy flag. That's a big part of CTF, is knowing when to rotate in and out and when to pick up positions and zones. And I think our team right here is slowly starting to become aware of that and naturally pick it up without having to call out. So it's definitely been a little bit of a help and to kind of take over and stuff like that. And right here, I don't know, I almost got turned on. Luckily enough, that ASP whips out mighty quick, and I'm able to throw down some rounds into him and able to avoid the turn on. That would have been embarrassing. Right here, though, that was pretty embarrassing. I did see the guy to my left at the last second, and as you've seen, my controller automatically wanted to twitch over, but I couldn't finish off the kill in front of me before getting taken out to the left. Now, Midget King right here calls out that he's getting taken down by C. He got stuns. I was in a position to throw a nade over his head, picked up the kill, called out to him. He wasn't able to grab any sort of return kill on that. And right here, another thing I was stressing to do is I was trying to get in a better position to get into a head-on gunfight. Now, had I just turned around and they would have went down Summit, I wouldn't have been able to be in any sort of position to take on 1 or 2 guys at a time. I wanted to secure a better spot going back down towards B, and make sure I get those kills. And then right here, this guy just gets a little bit impatient, and he tried to go for the kill a little bit early. And then Tryhard Pro with the AK, mopping up both of us, but luckily enough, our teammate Trauma there pushing in, grabbing flag, and leapfrogging that back. And definitely a good maneuver to do is leapfrog off your teammates. If some guy goes down, secure the area before you move in for the flag. Don't get tunnel vision on that flag and just keep going at it. It's not gonna work. So Midget, myself, Trauma, all doing some decent work here. QP, obviously nerves are gonna come into the factor here. Anytime you're thrown into a team that you're not really aware of, it's gonna be a little bit difficult to grab any sort of dominating chemistry and dominating play right off the start. So I understand when we are doing these tryouts that it's going to take some time, and I definitely appreciate it. So here, this is kind of a wacky route. I never really take this, and this is one thing I did right here. I slightly stray from right to left. And if I notice my cursor, pulling in any sort of direction, that's how I kind of figure out if somebody's in front of me on any sort of head glitch. So after we grab flag, I moved down secure B, and I didn't pick up the hind end behind Midget. Midget probably could have took the front end of that and grabbed the kill on beat on stairs while I secured the rear. But it's one of those things, like, I thought he was like right on my ass. I didn't think I had to turn around, but had I had, been more aware of spawns and the timers exactly and who was down, who was up, I probably could have been able to avoid that situation there. We wouldn't have been tied up on this first part. But it's a live and learn situation. Remember, if you're not learning, you're not doing anything valuable, okay? So after this, now I'm going to try and control grid, keep over here, and try to keep a laneway open for our flag runner. As our team, we like to pull, towards CDOM and be in a position to grab any sort of counter flags on Greats and top B, but we were forced to pull over to Summit. QP, I think was, QP picks up the 1 kill, and then I move in for any sort of immediate cutoffs. I didn't check spawn, but I didn't want to leave this spot. This spot will allow me to, call out anybody going far left to even take them out, or, cut off anybody running right around corner trying to get into ADOM. So once they, my teammate gets killed right here, I got to move in and I got to get to that flag before the enemy does. So I play it smooth, and this is that thing, secure the zone before you get tunnel vision and just grab that flag and go. So I play it, extra safe. I go through the building to allow not any of those stuns to touch me, and then I don't get picked off by any grenades, and I'm good to go. So another, nice play there. QP stunned him. I knew he only seen QP, so I tried to finish off and just make sure QP was alive. And right there, I literally turned because I thought he was dead. I'm like, I put rounds into that guy. He should be dead. And then I seen him walk away, and I was baffled. That shit happens to me on my connection so much, and it's frustrating. But you gotta learn. You gotta kind of just adjust to it. Trauma there, saving my ass, and we're pushing up really hard into the spawn. And this is one of those things about communication. I told QP, don't go down Summit, stop going Summit, and he pulled the Summit. We kind of bump into each other, and now I'm trying to get him to go the proper way, which is through CDOM. So I'm grabbing cutoffs, looking to my left, looking to my right, and I'm trying to get up into our spawn because I see a heavy red dot presence around our stuff, and I want to be there and help support my flag runner as much as possible. So I try to push ahead and got the initial kill, but I'm not able to kind of finish it out and grab that flag in time, which is okay. You're not going to win every gunfight, but you got to definitely be on top of things. And people will tell you, objective players don't need to worry about their KD and whatnot, but in this game I don't believe there is objective players, and I'm a firm believer in kind of rotating and pushing up and controlling spawn, and then pushing in once you already have a couple down. You're just able, whoever's there just creates the opportunity, grabs the flag while the other players kind of rotate and support in and out. Right there I kind of get lucky and doing the twitch move, just watching my left, watching my right real quickly, and then here I get caught looking at my freaking mini map, and it happens all the freaking time. It's so irritating. I know a couple other people too definitely have mentioned to me that they're always getting caught looking at that mini map. It is definitely detrimental to my health, as it happens way too often. On the respawns, you're going to see me kind of rushing right in blindly, and I noticed that myself, and definitely one thing I need to work on and our team needs to work on is, once you spawn, You know, take 1 or 2 seconds and just be aware of your surroundings, be aware of where your teammate is, and listen to a few callouts. You know, just grab a generalized, feel for where everybody is on the map. It'll definitely help your game, and it'll help you off of the respawn. You'll definitely avoid a lot more spawn kills. And this guy, used the position on me once, okay, twice, it really shouldn't happen. And then once again, we're calling out, don't go summit, go CDOM, or go through Great, somewhere like that. And, we don't want to pull through summit. It just never works out. So many cutoffs, and we definitely learned that through here, as the first half of this definitely went our way because we were able to cut off so many of their flags, and it worked out fairly well for us. Here we get the flag return, last couple seconds left, and we pull out, I think 4 or 3-0, so not too bad. QP's definitely got some work, but I appreciate him coming out and trying out. That's definitely great part on him. Thanks for watching the video. I'm Holiday Doc, and I'm out of here.